day for me. Shilpa, Jyotika, I have yet not cried for Sushant. Uh, and, I'm just waiting for justice that day, maybe. And maybe I will never accept this that he has gone. Maybe I will, assume that he's at his farmhouse. And maybe one day I'll visit him. So, like she said, that he has touched us so much, that his presence is so strong, that his absence cannot be felt at all. And I'm not feeling his absence. I'm just, going through these phases, this ups and downs, the news and everything. I have yet not believed he's not there. I will never believe. He will always be with us, like Jyotika said. And yes, we will all fulfill all his dreams.
Thank you, Smita. Our next guest is Medha Upadhyay. She's one of the youngest real warrior that I know, especially living in US, right? She's just 18, 17-year old, I guess. She's a
18, yeah.
she's a young, dynamic girl fighting for the justice for
So
Sushant.
sweet.
She will be heading to University of California, San Diego, to study data sciences. She's also a published author, journalist, and a blogger.
Wow.
That's She has quite a lot of achievements at such a young age. And, we can't wait to see your contributions, going forward to the society and to the world. Medha, please.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's so nice to just gather here with all of you and share all these stories about Sushant, his passions, his accomplishments, and it really helps us keep him alive in our hearts. And I just feel that we must also at the same time remember that as much as we love him and we talk about him, we must still remember that he was only a person, and our quest to find all these amazing and wonderful things about him, initially it stemmed out of a need to prove that his death was not a suicide. Even when I first heard the news, I spent days so confused and trying to find out more about him, because we hardly ever heard about him, unless you really went out of your way to find news about Sushant, you couldn't really hear it. So we all did this digging into his character in order to prove that he did not kill himself, that someone that was so self-driven, so motivated, so excited about their life could not suddenly end it. And yet, in order to prove that this crime had taken place, we had to dig into his character. And when we pair that with all the circumstantial evidence that was found, it makes it pretty clear that his death wasn't just a tragedy, it was a murder. And yet, the likelihood of a victim getting justice, it shouldn't depend on the number and the magnitude of their accomplishments, and nor should it be inversely proportional to the number of mistakes that they made. Sushant happened to be an intelligent, multi-talented, kind, humble, amazing person, but he was a person. And his case should be a precedent for all other people, all victims. And we know that justice is not reserved only for college superstars and AI geniuses who pursue astronomy and poetry in their free time and have millions of fans. Justice is for everyone, whether they're perfect or not, whether they're rich or famous or not. And that's what everyone here is trying to say. We're fighting for Sushant because he was like us, not because he was a star and we're his fans and we're upset that a superstar was taken. We're upset because a person was killed, and he deserves justice, as does every other person who was killed ever. And this case in itself is unfortunately not special or unique. Things like this happen far too often. And so what's special is our response, the response from the public, the people standing up and saying that the culprits must be held accountable for their crimes. And not just this crime and not just these culprits, but all culprits and all crimes, all victims deserve their justice. And so, although in this case, we do join together to share his life and his accomplishments, it's not that Sushant is more important than any other victim. It's just that he was more visible. He touched more lives. More people saw him. That doesn't mean that he deserves it more than other victims or that he is more important or more special. It's just that he was able to touch more people and therefore more people have stood up for him. And yet the goal is to sustain this energy and this fight for all cases, for all victims, and to just make, the world a safer, more fair place for everyone.
Bravo.
Amazing. And I'm sending a hug and a kiss on your forehead. So proud of you. And I'm sure Sushant is so proud of her. He would have really hugged her and kissed her on her forehead. She shows her upbringing. Her parents must be so proud. And she truly reflects what Sushant wanted the kids of the country and globe to be. She truly represents that.
Yeah, Smita.